What's up, snappers? Welcome back to the channel. DDDREWSKY here. We're going to be looking at the brand new season of Marvel Snap, crossing over with Marvel Rivals. Today we're going to be looking at the brand new card Luna Snow to see if she's worth your precious resources. We're going to be looking at her key Synergies Counters and some decks that I brewed for her. But wait, before we do that, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach 1,000 subs of the channel. We're very close. I do weekly reviews of the brand new card in Marvel Snap. You don't want to miss out, so hit that notification bell right now. Now let's get back into it. All right, now the question is, who is Luna Snow? Let's check it out. So Luna Snow in Marvel Snap is a 3-cost, 5-powered card with the on-reveal ability to add an ice cube to each side of this location. The ice cube that she creates is a 1-cost, 0-powered card. At the start of each turn, get +1 energy, and it gets destroyed if this side gets full. So I believe Luna's ability is very unique to Marvel Snap. So this is the first time we've ever seen a card that gets added to both sides of the board that benefits both of the players, right? So the ice cube in Marvel Snap is very interesting. It creates a lot of different mind games. It's very unique to Marvel Snap. You can manipulate energy. You can cause chaos with your opponent. It really keeps them guessing, and you can either destroy their ice cube or you can keep yours. There's so many different ways to utilize the ice cube, which I find very, very interesting in Marvel Snap. All right, now let's take a look at some of the pros and cons for Luna Snow. Let's take a look. So the first pro about Luna Snow is that it's a good stats for 3-cost. We know that a 3/5 is a staple in Marvel Snap. It's proven that power is great for a 3-cost, so very good stats for a 3-cost. Another pro about her is that she's an energy ramp card, especially the ice cube, right? The ice cube gives out +1 energy per turn, which is crazy in Marvel Snap. Another pro about her is that you can clog your opponent. So the ice cube obviously gets added to the opponent's side and your side. Technically you are clogging, your side and the opponent's side, but there's a huge benefit of having that ice cube, right? Another pro about her is that you can decide when you're done with that energy gain, right? You can either keep that ice cube for that energy, or you can destroy it if you don't need it, or if you want to destroy your opponents. There's so many different opportunities with this ice cube. So now let's talk about the cons about her. She gives the opponent energy, right? So if you don't do anything about that ice cube on their side, technically they're getting benefit from that energy, right? It clogs your own lane. So for example, that ice cube is on your side. Maybe there's a situation where you don't want to, fill up that lane, or you have to make sure, you have to remember yourself that you have to play a card there if you want, power there, right? Because it's a 0-powered card, the ice cube. It really depends on the situation. Like if you want to ramp out a card, or if you want to destroy the ice cube. Another con about Luna Snow is that opponent benefits from the ice cube, which is huge. So if you don't do anything about that ice cube on their side, technically they're gaining more energy, which is really, really good for the opponent. So you have to find ways to counter the ice cube, right? Another con about her is that the cube can be countered easily. So there's a lot of different ways to destroy or even to counter that ice cube. All right, now let's take a look at some of her key synergies and counters. Let's take a look. So the first synergy that I want to talk about is debris. So technically Luna is a clog card, right? Using debris with Luna could be really, really cool and very menacing for your opponent. Of course, they're going to get that energy buff, but if you fill up their lane, what can they do, right? So Kyera is a great synergy for the ice cube in particular, right? It protects the ice cube. And then for Hazmat synergy is great with Luna, especially if you're trying to clog your opponent and then deal that negative damage. It's gonna be really, really good, right? So I think there's some synergy right there as well. So now let's talk about the counters. So Cosmo, of course, Luna Snow is a on reveal, so Cosmo is a perfect counter against Luna Snow. And then another counter is Killmonger, of course, right? So Killmonger can destroy 1-cost cards, which is the ice cube. If you don't utilize that energy, Killmonger, it can ruin it. So another great counter for the ice cube is Red Guardian. The ice cube has kind of like a passive ability. So after Red Guardian hits the ice cube, then it's pretty much like a -2 powered rock, right? All right, now let's take a look at some of the decks that I brewed. I think they're pretty fun and competitive. Let's take a look. So the first deck that we have is called Snowstorm. So the ideal goal of this deck is to clog your opponent, deal negative damage to them, and just clog your opponent. So for turn 1, you probably want to do the hood. Titania you kind of want to keep for like the later turns, and I'll explain why. Hazmat is a great finisher, so we'll talk about her later. Green Goblin is great to run on turn 4 with Titania. Perfect, combo would be Titania first and then Green Goblin on a lane that has 2 cards, and you will fill up their side of the board, which is an awesome play. Magic is great on curve for turn 3. You definitely want more turns for this deck, so it gives you more opportunity to clog your opponent. Debris again is another great synergy with Luna, especially if you're trying to clog your opponent. You definitely want to add more rocks to your opponent's side, and you can even clog a lane with turn 3 with Luna. So for turn 4, you could do like Viper over the hood, or you could Viper over any of the rocks or anything that's on your side. Shang-Chi is better as a finisher here, so we're gonna skip over to Dr. Ock. Is great to clog your opponent's side. Hopefully you don't get anything crazy. But if you get something crazy big, then Shang-Chi is great for turn 5 as well. Ajax is great turn 5 play. You could even save him for turn 6, right? Or even turn 7 with this deck. He gets benefit off of Hazmat as well. And then Cannonball is a great finisher. Of course, if all the lanes are filled up on your opponent's side, Cannonball will just wreck that lane. All right, so now let's take a look at my second list. So this deck is called Silver Snowlings. This is my take on the Silver Surfer classic archetype. The ideal goal of this deck is to lay down as much 3-cost cards as you can and then juice them up in power, and even doing some a little bit counter play against your opponent. So for turn 1, of course, you can't do anything. Turn 2, you probably want to do Forge. Turn 3, you probably want to aim to do Brood. It benefits greatly from the Forge, getting that buff from the Forge. It's amazing with Brood. Turn 3, you could do Magic on curve as well. Depending on your matchup, Cassandra Nova is amazing, especially with all the Airshim and Thanos running around. Silver Surfer, of course, you probably want to save for the later turns or even the last turn. Frigga is great in this list. Of course, being a 3-cost card, she can copy Red Guardian, Cassandra Nova, even Brood. All the cards here, really, she can copy, and you'll take some benefit out of that. Other than maybe like Absorbing Man or Gwenpool, you probably want to avoid with Frigga. Red Guardian is great as a counter. Again, you could play them on curve, or depending on the situation, you definitely want to counter their best card. Hope Summers is great to ramp out in energy with this list, especially that we're trying to go a little bit greedy with Absorbing Man and even Silver Surfer. Sebastian Shaw is great in this list. Again, he gains a lot of power from this list. Luna is great in this list as well. She gives you that energy that we really need in this list, especially having Hope Summers or Magic to extend the game, but getting that max energy is great with Luna. So for the cheeky play in this list is that you would run Luna Snow, and then you can Red Guardian the Ice Cube that's on their side, right? So you can get the benefit of that, having that cube on your side, but they don't, right? Abzaman is great to follow up with Brood or any of the cards here like Silver Surfer or even Red Guardian. So Abzaman has tons of value here. Gwenpool is great just to juice up this list. Gwenpool loves to hit cards like Brood, Abzaman, or Sebastian Shaw. Those are usually the main picks, or any of the other cards here would benefit of Gwenpool a lot. So now let's look at my third and final list. So this list is called the Luna Machine. So the ideal goal of this deck is to ramp out as much power as possible and then negating those negative effects with War Machine. So for turn 1, you could do Nebula or Ebony Maw. I probably would wait if you had War Machine in hand first before playing Ebony Maw. Turn 2, Fenris, of course, can be played on curve. I think Fenris is probably safe. Turn 3 would be great for Magic, depending on the situation, but Magic's great to extend the game. And then Red Guardian's great as a counter. Definitely probably want to save him for the later turns. Kyra is great in this list to protect cards like Nebula, Ebony Maw, the Ice Cube, the Red Hulk, and the Infinite. Luna Snow, of course, is amazing in this list just to ramp out some cards from this list. Shang-Chi is great as a counter, probably save for the later turns. War Machine is great for this list, of course, with Ebony Maw and Infinite. He negates those really bad negative effects. Link is a great pick in this list because depending on the situation, if you wanted to substitute maybe like a Nebula or Ebony Maw or even Fenris, any of the like lower cost cards to ramp out like Red Hulk or Infinite, she definitely could be used for that. And then Red Hulk is amazing, especially having a turn 7 with Magic. Definitely gets a lot of value here. And then Infinite is a great finisher, especially if you have War Machine out on the board. You can definitely play Infinite whenever you want, which is amazing. All right, now let's take a look at the spotlights that are featured with Luna Snow. Let's take a look. The Luna Snow is with Lady Deathstrike and X23. Luna Snow is a Series 5, Lady Deathstrike is a Series 4, and X23 is a Series 5 card. The Lady Deathstrike is definitely a skip in my opinion. She hasn't been really meta at all since her debut. She could be used in like some cheeky ways. X23 is great. She is a staple in Destroy. If you love Destroy, definitely go pick her up. She's in spotlights very often, so again, depending on your resources, if you need her, definitely go get her. For the spotlight variants, I like the Luna Snow. It looks great. It looks exactly straight from Marvel Rivals. If you love that game, you'll love this one as well. Lady Deathstrike and X23, their variants look amazing. Definitely captures the essence of these characters. So if you have the cards and you get these by accident, you know, you won't be mad, right? Again, depending on your resources, make sure again to use 4 keys. You do not want to miss out on these amazing cards. All right, now let's take a look at my star ratings for Luna Snow. Let's take a look. So for competitive, I gave Luna Snow a 3 out of 5 stars. I think she'd be pretty good, but I don't know, very situational, right? So it really depends on the ice cube, really, if that's going to cause, you know, chaos in the meta. I see potential with the ice cube, but I'm definitely leaning towards like cautionary side. So for fun, I gave her a 4 stars. I think, you know, causing chaos with the ice cube or gaining the energy with the ice cube is pretty fun. The mind games is going to be pretty amazing with this card. So I would say definitely the fun factor is up there. The flexibility, 2 stars. She could be kind of like a plug and play card, but eventually I would say she's going to be very niche. For future changes, I would say 2.5 stars. If the ice cube is going to be really good, that will kind of dictate if she's going to get nerfed or not. It's really the ice cube, right? I think the 3-5 is probably going to be okay with like her stat line, but ice cube is really the kicker if she's going to be like super powerful or not. All right, now let's take a look at my final review of Luna Snow. Is she worth a snap or skip? Let's take a look. So I say snap on Luna Snow. I think her ability is really cool and unique. I think the ice cube has a lot of potential to cause chaos in the meta. So if you like that type of ability, especially getting energy from the ice cube, I think it's gonna be really fun, honestly. Let me know your thoughts on Luna Snow and the ice cube. What are some synergies, some counters, or maybe some decks that I missed out on Luna? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach 1,000 subs of the channel. I would love for you to be a part of it, and I'll see you guys on the next snap or skip. Happy snapping.